I'm Noah Fortner. 4 years ago today, I released a video called Why Am I Still Doing This? The video followed my journey as I came to terms with starting a new chapter in my life. The fact that I needed medication to manage my happiness, as well as creating. Creating was much as a part of my happiness as the medication. But these days I don't do either. It's been about 2 years since I've consistently taken any form of antidepressant, and about the same amount of time since I have done any type of consistent video work. Today I'm going to explain what happened. This is a very long journey. It took a lot for me to figure all this out. There's a lot of things that have happened since then that I feel like I want to explain. Around the same time that I stopped taking medication, and at the same time I stopped creating, I started a new chapter in my life. Well, while not the entire reason for my current state, a large fraction of my energy was now being given to this job. Transitioning to a job that asks very little of me, to this job that was now sending me across the country, sending me to go get training, investing their time into me. It was and continues to be something I really don't know if I've gotten a hold of yet. And during this period of time, I also spent it detoxing a lot from the medication that I was on. Coming off of that and having all the stress of this pressure put on me, I became very angry. I had a lot of anger and hate towards myself, my life, what I had become, where I was at. A lot of that hurt other people around me, people closest to me. And wrestling with that fact has taken me a while to get even a decent hold on. Where I'm at with it right now is I can accept this fate of what this job is and will continue to be. And dealing with the medication while dealing with all of this was difficult. Being on medication sometimes is just as hard as being off of medication. As much as it helped with depression and anger, it did that by suppressing all of my other emotions. It was hard to feel anything. I am happy to say that I came out better on the other end after quitting medication, after tons of people told me it was not a good idea. I am in a better place now than I think I've ever been mentally. And learning to have life balance is difficult if you didn't know. But balancing my emotions and my life now was not my only obstacle. During this time period, and probably a lot throughout my life, I've spent a ton of time at the beginning of 2022. For over 10 years straight, I had always had a creative outlet to make videos. Whether that be making little Lego videos in my room by myself, or whether that was making flip note videos with the DSi, or even recording the games I would play with my friends, or even later, the vlogs I would make with the same exact friends. I dipped my toe in a lot of niches, and a lot of them didn't work out. A lot of failed attempts. The point was, I was always creating something. Now, you could very easily point to having a new job causing extra stress that wasn't always helping. You could point The medication I was on, wasn't taking it anymore. But at the end of the day, I knew that the real reason was I spent a ton of time lying. Sometimes damaging the personal relationships that I had and hurting the people around me. Sometimes just hurting myself, unknowingly. It was one lie that I was ashamed and embarrassed of, that I just buried it under all of my thoughts. It was this. Something I really wanted to do again is to start and continue making short films, and I was going to. And I was going to make another one. But then the funniest thing happened. Now, I've now accepted the fact that I very well could have made that video. I very easily could have made that short film if I really wanted to. I decided not to. I didn't cancel it because of COVID restrictions. I used COVID restrictions to hide the fact that I knew that I couldn't do it. I was not ready. Really, for the longest time, that's why I didn't make another short film. I've only made really one other short film, and like the first one, they both didn't really have much success to me. Obviously, they don't draw in millions, thousands of views, but they weren't a success in my eyes. Even today, they are both very hard to watch. And the reason I really haven't done anything like that since was basically a crisis of confidence. I knew I wasn't skilled enough to make another short film in 2020. And I didn't feel skilled enough for the past 2 years to make any content really at all. Confidence wasn't my only problem. It was the effect of this issue, but it was not the cause. The cause of this issue is I spent a lot of time lying to myself, but I also spent a lot of time like anyone who cares about their craft, I am very aware of my surroundings. The commentary subgenre on YouTube is a vast ocean of anybody and everybody who owns a DSLR and a Rode mic telling you their opinions about their favorite hobby. There are so many channels like this out there that it is often very hard to feel like you have anything to add or say to these topics. Ignoring the platoon of channels that are doing this on YouTube right now, just focusing on the people that I follow and that I watch and consistently consume their content. Most of the channels that I follow operate in the vague part of hot topics on the internet, what's currently in the zeitgeist on all social media platforms. A lot of talk about the manosphere, a lot of talk about AI, a lot of talk about shitty technology advancements. That seems to be the vague zone that they're all kind of operating in right now. When I first started watching channels like these, it was talking about like the Paul brothers, family vloggers, other cringy content on YouTube. These creators, they fuel off of negativity. It is fun to write, it is fun to watch. To kind of round it back to me, consuming this stuff is harmful to a creator, myself, who is already not very confident in what they do. Consuming a lot of negative shit, surprisingly, makes things worse. You also do see the immense amount of effort that all of these creators put into their work, all of the time and research and editing that they put into their craft, and you can tell when someone truly cares about what they're talking about. It is very damaging, or at least was, to my self-esteem to see all of these people doing all this great work and not seeing the same amount of effort put in by yourself. So at a certain point in time, I asked myself, and if you've done the reading, you know why I am still doing this. It is because it's a part of me. It's ingrained into every fiber of my being. It is one of the sole reasons I can maintain my sanity throughout the horrible time period that we get to live in. I don't do this to open a theme park and a burger restaurant. I do this because it's baked into my DNA. I do this because I have to, or else I go more insane than I was 2 weeks prior. But like any depression spell, it is hard to get back on the horse when you're trying to get over it. trying to get back on that horse is so incredibly difficult. You have to force yourself to do some of these things. You have to like make it a job. You have to make it work. In mid to late spring of 2024, I got the opportunity to work at a local haunted house. I took this opportunity in stride. I made 14 ads during my time here, and it was a wonderful playground to work with makeup artists and sets and lighting that were all very interesting, very intricate, and very fun to play with. I learned to hone my crafts in editing, writing, directing, planning a shoot, but these were not changing sets. These were not changing actors. They were going to stay the same. Bottle episode for however long I continued to create here. That is all well and good. But I outgrew this place. While I appreciated the opportunity, I did not see a real incentive to continue to do this. The stress involving with making these was not worth the reward of getting to make these. I didn't really see a need to continue, and I didn't really have a desire to continue. I needed to leave. It wasn't an easy exit, but it's something I know I needed to do. Personal relations aside, I didn't like the direction that I was heading towards there while working there. I had started to get less of a hold on what I was going to continue to be creating, and I also had the fear of my work being altered with AI slop. It may seem silly, but I take my content, the things that I create, very seriously. I hold them in a very high regard. And whether that end product comes out like that or not, I had learned my worth here. I left here taking my work seriously again. It is a very hard thing to have that level of confidence in yourself in creating. I left here with that confidence regained, knowing my worth, knowing that I could make something important, knowing that my work wasn't more than just advertisements or the videos that I was creating already. I left because I want to work in and around a space that also takes my work seriously. The only question was now, how was I going to prove to myself that I can take my work seriously?
Let's get one thing perfectly clear. If the majority of your knowledge of me comes between these four corners, it may not be abundantly clear that I am very arrogant about my work and I am tremendously stupid. In the truest sense of the word, I am an asshole. And I'm about to do the exact same thing that I was complaining about just about 5 minutes ago. I am a fake ass bitch. So know that as important as this part of my journey is to gaining my self-confidence, I'm about to be a bit of an asshole. I took a good long break after making my last commercial, and I didn't really create much of anything. I started working at a new haunt. I went to about every single Six Flags that I possibly could in North America. I watched my Indiana Pacers lose in the NBA Finals and get unreasonably upset. Overall, during this period of time, I had a wonderful, great time. During this time period, I also took in a lot of art. I tried to study other small creators like myself, see what kind of things I can see myself making in the future. I took a lot of time to study and learn about making a movie. And one day, before going out to scare some folk at my haunted house, I came across a trailer. Now, I'm not going to name this trailer by name, but it was made locally, and it falls a bit into the niche of stuff that I enjoy. Now, I can recognize that maybe this particular piece of media is not for me. I can also recognize that this is probably a passion project for a lot of people, that a lot of work and time and money went into creating this thing. However, as a professional asshole, after spending a lot of time studying cinematography, writing, filmmaking, and watching what other small creators were doing, as well as the short filmmakers, and learning how these people create their passions. This was one of the most appalling trailers for any type of film or show or anything that I think I've ever seen. I watched this trailer and was full of spite. I held a lot of resentment for this particular film. I could not wrap my head around the fact that something so bad had space for an audience that could be created, and I was still stuck here not feeling like I could create anything. I am very well aware that I am being a hypocrite right now. I am speaking to my mic, looking at my camera, spreading the exact negativity that I was just complaining about. This is the honest truth though. This is as big a part of my journey as sitting in therapy and learning stuff about myself and fixing parts of me that I've had lifelong issues with. Seeing this incredibly and laughably bad piece of media lit a fire under my ass to do something that I didn't think I could do and haven't been able to do in a long time.
4 years ago today, I stood here. Behind me meant absolutely nothing. Today, I stand here fueled by spite with a renewed sense of confidence. I stand here today where this takes place. Now, this is what I've been working on for the better part of a year now. It is the first script I have written in a long time, and I am hoping that with all of the research, thought, fleshing out of ideas that I have done, this can and will be a true showcase of my abilities. This will be the first thing I've made in probably 6 years, and I can't do it alone. You, or anyone that you know, might like to be involved with this. Contact me. I will need help making my vision a reality. So, be on the lookout for some casting calls. For now, I've been Noah Fortner. Stay safe out there.
I scare this bitch out like balloon. I send this bitch ass to the moon. I'm at that top, ain't no room.